Hello everyone, welcome to Melbourne Mama. This is your host Prathyusha, and today I'm going to introduce someone really very special who is representing me as well and the all women in the world. So she is none other than Deepti Alurkar, who is standing for the elections as a candidate for City Melton. So I'd like to introduce her. Please welcome Deepti Alurkar.
Hello, Prathyusha. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
You're most welcome, and we are so grateful. Like you're representing someone like us.
Thank you.
Uh, Anyways, like you're from India, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I am
So
from India. Yeah.
yeah. So like, can you just share us the life in India?
Of
How
course.
was?
Yes, I'm originally from Mumbai and
Okay.
born and brought up in Mumbai. And I did my schools and I finished my studies as well. Back in India, I was working with hospitality industry as a corporate salesperson. And then we eventually migrated to Australia. But when I was in Mumbai, I was very active in social causes. I was very active in charity work and stuff like that. That's just been myself. I've completed my master's in business administration. I did my hotel management. I Then once I moved here, I also did my diploma in financial planning, and life in India was very cozy, very comfy, as you know, most of us have. Being in the commercial capital of the country, it was always buzzing with a lot of people around, a lot of many faces that I would interact on a daily basis. I was actually dealing with a lot of corporates back home as a relationship, in relationship management position. So I work for one of the top five-star hotels, and I still, have fond memories of working with that organization. And yeah, it's been beautiful. I lived with my family there, and it was fantastic growing up back in Mumbai.
That's so nice. And like, what made you to come to Australia? Like, where you were happy being in India, you were with your family and all. So what made you to come to Australia?
That's $1 million question. I'll give you my account details. You have to transfer funds first. No. Okay. This is the question I've answered the most since I've moved to Australia. The
Okay.
most answered question in my life has been, what made you move if you were enjoying your life so much back home, and if you missed it, or in my earlier days I did miss it a lot, because kind of break your comfort zone and come out of the shell, and you're on your own, starting with the struggles and the path of. When we moved to Australia, we didn't know it, not even one single person. So it was a big challenge, as it is. What made us move? Now, both my husband and I were working very well, and we were doing fine back home. But sometimes I think it's just the I don't know. It's called Naseeb in Hindi. I don't know
Yeah.
what's it called. It's destiny. So we just decided to fill the forms, and we filled in. But when we moved to Australia, we saw the struggle was real. All our experiences were nullified. All our qualification was nullified. So we had to do things, and start from ground zero. But yes, that was a real struggle, and that is the time we actually contemplated many a times that, should we move back, because we did have a rosy life and we were doing very well in the corporate industry. We were actually at good positions. And to add to that, what we did take for granted was the family support and the friends that we grew up with. So coming to another different country altogether, not knowing one single soul, I'm sure most of us have gone through this, but that challenge was real and it hit us hard, and we kind of contemplated. But I'll tell you what, over the years, we've just fallen in love with this country, and it's accepted us with open arms. There was struggle, and there is struggle, and there will be struggle, for everyone, irrespective. But I really appreciate what Australia has given us in terms of opportunity, in terms of the value of life. It's way different compared to any other country I can think of. India will always be in my heart. because obviously, born
Yeah.
there, brought up there. But Australia is the place that, is the place that we think it's our own, and it's a place where my children are Australians and we are Australians. So it's totally a different scenario now. We're completely, we love both the places, but this is where we want to live forever and make a better future for our children.
That's so nice. So, like, after your struggles and all, any activities you have done, like any social working or anything for the women? Have you done any such programs?
Oh yes, yes, absolutely. So when I moved to Australia, I always had, like I said, whenever I was back home, back in India, I always
Mm,
did, I would go for peace protest, and I would, be a, I always wanted to voice injustice, and or voice my opinion wherever I thought it was necessary, and whatever I could do, signing petitions and things like that. So when we moved to Australia, obviously the first struggle was to find the comfort of
mm,
being able to live comfortably.
mm,
All right,
mm,
like I said, the experiences back home are nullified, and you're either overqualified or you're little qualified. But for in our case, it was we were overqualified. So we had to
mm.
start from ground zero. So it was important for us to settle ourselves economically and financially and get that stable lifestyle like anyone would want. And
Yeah.
with that, I then it started also hitting us that besides financial stability, the social stability is very important as well. And when we moved to Australia, we were married and we started a family. And when my baby came into our life, when our child, my first daughter, that's when it hit me even more, because back home, you have so many people, you have neighbors at the call, just to running to you for help and support. And here I was all by myself. Um, but I must tell you that I was blessed with some wonderful neighbors who did support me. Uh, and who kind of accepted me into their own. There was a lovely Greek family, and this wonderful person was my daughter's godfather. He and his family were amazing support system for us when we moved to Australia. And when I was doing all this, I did realize, that when I was on my maternity leave, I kind of found myself locked in with a toddler. And that's when I actually thought there could be many women who must be stuck in this kind of situation where they're isolated and not having
Yeah.
much to do in terms of mental growth. And that's when I started Moms Club. I actually invited a couple of moms on social media and asked them to join in my backyard for a social
Yeah.
catch up and some dancing. And as a volunteer, I offered that at my place. And from the group of 10, we are today a lot of members in our club. We have around 500 members in our Facebook group as well. And
That's good.
then we started that social group started becoming a support group. We started getting I started getting requests, or inquiries or suggestions people, women moms would seek. We kind of became such good
Yeah.
thick friends eventually. It was amazing.
Yes.
So we kind of started watching out for each other. This was one place where we could just let go of everything and just be together, support each other, guide each other. And that's where I started helping family violence victims. That's where I started helping entrepreneurs, the moms who are working from home, especially after childbirth. They have to
Yes.
take a step back from work, but yet contribute to the family income. So supporting them, promoting them, that's what I started doing. So this just happened. It just happened
Mm,
gradually. So I did do a lot of community work. And I would say from past 5 years, I've been just very aggressively involved, because it gives me immense pleasure. It's my passion to work for the community. It gives me immense satisfaction. And because of which, I never thought once that hours that I'm investing, what is it going to give me back? What it gives me is
mm.
just that satisfaction, that peace, that I am being able to help someone. So we did start another organization called MACE, which is Multicultural Association of Community Empowerment. And again, this is another not-for-profit organization which we use to assimilate all people from all the backgrounds, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, race, gender. And we're trying to empower everyone, by running programs, by running workshops, by running community events, by trying to bring the community closer. So all of that. And then I've also been very much involved locally with a local council. I was part of the Intercultural Advisory Board as a board member. Then I've been a volunteer with the council for many years as well, with the local council. Then I've also worked with other not-for-profit organizations like Connect West, then I'm also part of other not-for-profit organizations which are local-based, like Zonta Club and Women Making It Happen. And I support other not-for-profits too, like Lions Club, and Rotary. So the idea is I love volunteering. I love working for the community. That's my passion. So I think, yeah, that sums it up.
Well, that sounds so good. I just want to know, like, you're very busy doing these all things. What made you to come for the elections? What made you to stand for it? What thought,
That's
like,
a
yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that politics was my agenda. It never occurred to me that I'm doing all this, or it just transitioned. My work transitioned, and all the community work. So I don't know, for some reason I kind of became the person to go to for any problems. So I would receive calls for family violence victim cases from all over Melbourne, not just my area. I would receive
Hmm.
calls for problems like some visa issues or things like that. And I never took a step back. I always have been a solution driven person, so I always wanted to find solution and help people. I'm also good at networking, and at the same time I have excellent stakeholder management experience from my work. Well, professionally I worked in the banking industry in Australia, for a long time. I was working for one of the top 4 banks. So relationship management, stakeholder management, just comes to me naturally. And so when I was providing all this advice to people and suggesting and recommending and doing all these programs, most of the times they would be self-funded, or through businesses that we know who would support our not-for-profit initiatives. So I decided, there were people coming to me and telling me that, Dipti, you must consider this because we need someone who's more connected with the local community at the grassroots level. And I did give it a thought, and more so because the council that we live in, Melton City Council, is one of the highest growing suburbs in Victoria, and it's quite a multicultural community as well. So we have 1 in 7 people born here, are born overseas, the workers, and there are a lot of migrant communities who live here in this area. And I think it is time to have someone who can connect with the local community as well as, because I did realize one thing was people didn't know who to go to for help or who to ask questions to. So that is one accessibility factor with me. I'm quite accessible and approachable, and that is what I want to give to the community. That I want to be the connector between the community and the decision making chamber. So that's one of the reasons why I chose, why I decided to put my hand up for the council elections, because I think it's the time and the need of the hour to have someone who's very well connected at the grassroots level with the local community members, and at the same time is very much into community itself, is very passionate towards the community, is honest, and is uh, it doesn't, I wouldn't mind saying I don't know and finding an answer and coming back. I will not just bluff things up. And I'm quite capable of managing budgets and financial readings, because I've done my financial planning, and that's a small business that I run as well. So for me, running for council is solely for my love and my passion for working and giving the service to the community. There is no other agenda. As councillors, people should know and must know that councillors do not get paid too much. So money is definitely not the criteria. It's just about being able to serve the wider community and have a diverse representation.
That's fabulous. I just want to ask you, Deepti ji, like, there is a gender racism all over the world, right? So how would you talk about the gender racism in the society? Whatever it is happening now, and how, what are the faces you faced in this gender racism?
See, I'll tell you what, racism is prevalent in all parts of society
Yeah,
and in
true.
all parts of world. All right.
Yes,
So that
that's
is
true.
one thing I want to. Yeah, it's so embedded in many people, and it's a shame. that people resort to racism, uh, and that could be, and it could be for any, sometimes it's like, oh, you're Indian, or you're Pakistani, or if you're Indian, then what Indian you are, then which part of India are you from. In that also
Yeah.
people get subdivided. So that is one kind of thing of uh, getting
Yes,
dissected.
yes.
So it starts with Southeast Asian. Okay, you
Mhm.
don't look at color, so you're Southeast Asian. Then which country?
Yes,
Then which part
yes.
of the country? And from that, which region? Then which dialect? Then which language? Oh God! So that's one thing. The second thing is, yes, there is. I wouldn't deny that there is no racism. But again, like I said, it's prevalent in societies. It's prevalent in all parts of the world. Um, I think it's important to address racism as in to say stop. And people have to stand up and say, yes, it does exist, and we need to put a stop to it. We cannot turn a blind eye to it and say it doesn't exist, it's all happy go lucky here. No, it's not happy go lucky anywhere, unless and until we make an effort to fix the place and to fix the society and the mindset of people. We can't change everyone's thinking, but yes, we can probably show them the positive side of it. Because see, for me, why I love Australia, one of the reasons is because it's a country of migrants. People from all over the world have moved to this country. All right,
Yeah.
it's a land of aboriginals, yes, but everyone else is a migrant. Even if they say they are fourth generation, fifth generation Australian, fantastic. But somewhere your parents have migrated from another country, so you have got some heritage somewhere. It could be a heritage, from European countries, or from other countries, or Asian countries. So, but the beauty is everyone comes together. So there is a small
Yes.
percentage of people who are negative, but I think we should not uh, let them. We should not encourage them by ignoring them, but at the same time, we should just shut them up and continue doing the right work. Because there are. I'll tell you what, I have been. When I moved to Australia, there was a lot of talks about racism in Australia. Oh, every student is being beaten up. So all this news,
Mm.
that is over the world, all over the world. And when people would call me, oh, you are there. I hope you guys are safe. And I was like, it's not that. It's all the picture that is being painted. Everyone's not bad. It's just a small percentage of people, and which you will find in every fabric of the society and every part of the world. So there is, this 95% people would be fantastic, but this 5% people cannot overcome or overshadow the goodness of all these 95% people. So today I am blessed to have the community that loves me irrespective of their background. So they wouldn't just love me because I belong to a certain section of society. All right, I have friends who are, and we don't see anymore the color or the race or religion. We just accept people the way it is, and I think that's what is more important: respecting and loving humans for who they are. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. No, I just wanted to ask you one thing. Like when you entered into the elections, there are many men. Okay. Did anyone discourage you why you are here?
Sorry, there are many what?
As your did anyone discourage you, or did anyone tell you like you are a female, why you want to stand for the elections?
Okay, now I'll tell you what. I'm an advocate of gender equality and inclusion. I think that's why these questions are coming my way, and I'm glad you're asking these. So, the reason I say I'm an advocate of gender equality and inclusion, why so? Because it's not just racism. It's even disabled people should feel included. Even LGBTI community should feel included. It's every human should feel included. There should be no reason for anyone to feel non-included at all. And inclusiveness has to be the basic core of our society. All right. So I advocate. I would like to say that I do have community initiatives which highlights these points. Now, talking about standing for elections as a woman,
Yeah.
yes, I did get lot of not lot. I did get quite a few messages being told to me, and but that didn't deter me. That didn't stop me. And I think this is one of the reasons why it makes me even more happy or motivated to do this, is because if I could motivate even one more lady or one more woman out there, I'll be like,
Okay.
I'll feel accomplished. At the end of the day, it's important to practice what you preach. and I've
True.
tried my best. I've tried my best, and it's important for being a woman. It's as it is hard, and in all industries, for some reason we're still struggling for that equality. Perfect. I'm blessed to have a husband who supports all my endeavors and who is like giving me 100% backing to do what I want. But there are many women out there who are unfortunately not getting that kind of support. But then
Yeah.
that's where we are kind of holding each other's hand today. My volunteer group, I would say 70% of my volunteer group who's helping me campaign, they're non-political and they're women, they're moms. So
That's so
that is what
nice.
brings me immense joy, that yes, there will be people who will discourage you. I still get, calls from people and they'll say, oh, Dipti, you're so lucky. You've got a husband who's supporting you. But I'm like, my husband's supporting me. Yes, great. But at the same time, I've got these backing of these other moms who believe in me and who are kind of getting motivated somewhere. So I would tell all the moms out there, all the women out there should not be anything stopping you. Nothing is impossible. If I could think of coming here and standing for local council elections, and I'll tell you, it's not been easy. It's been a challenging ride, but I loved every bit of it. So yeah.
That's an amazing thing. Well, Deepti ji, what during this election campaign and all, we all got this pandemic effect. So, what was your campaign? How was your campaign done through social media, and how it helped you?
All right. So that's another good question. So the pandemic has been, has impacted everyone, the whole world, every individual, and it's been really challenging for all. People have lost jobs, they've lost their livelihoods. Businesses have got impacted, uh, seniors have got impacted, youth have got impacted, children, my preppies got impacted. So everyone did get impacted. So yes, when it came to deciding for standing for elections, I wasn't too sure how much can I do in terms of campaigning in these restrictions, because we were not allowed to travel, we were not allowed to door knock, we were not allowed to meet people and distribute flyers. Go, because I'm a people's person. I love to meet people. I'm a community person, absolutely. But the only reason that I actually even thought of putting my hand up was on the back of my community work of past 8 years. So whatever work I've done in the past many years, I was confident that people have seen my work and they will advocate for me. Besides that, I did a lot of. I kind of had to, think out of the box, and I started doing Zoom consultations, and that was very interesting. I would have these Zoom meetings with different community members, and I would ask them what challenges you think we are facing, or what do you think we can do better. If I do get elected as a councillor, what would you want me to serve you with, or what? So all my policies are actually not just out of a hat. They've been discussed, consulted with our local residents. So it has been challenging, but you know what? Where there is a will, there is a way. I have tried to find. It's definitely favoring people who are already in the existing position, because they have been there. Their names are out there, and but I think I've done a good job by at least reaching out to the communities, the local communities, so that I could understand what they feel and what they think. So that is one way I actually try to turn around the hindrance of restrictions and pandemic.
Yeah. So, Deepti ji, what are your agendas in this campaign? So, what are you going to do if
So
you're elected?
now, as a counselor, usually, people talk about roads, people talk about rubbish and infrastructure and stuff like that. Now, for us, it's been a very challenging year. It's been a year, which has been impacted because of the pandemic, and the situation and the people's circumstances have changed. And I think it's time to have different outlook and different perspective to work for a local community as a council representative. Now, that's another interesting thing about being a local councillor, is that this is the only government which is very closely connected with the local community. So I understand, in simple words, a councillor is the voice of your local community, who will represent you at the decision-making chamber and make sure the outcomes are in favor of the community. So that is my first agenda is to be the voice of the local people. All right. Number two, I think due to COVID, it's important to have COVID economic recovery plans, and that's what I'm going to focus on. There have been a lot of
Okay.
businesses which have got impacted, and I've always supported local businesses. Uh, like I said, even when I was not holding any official designations, I've been doing this. I've been supporting local businesses. I've been promoting them, and there are many businesses who will vouch that whatever I'm saying is 100% true. And
Yeah.
I just think of ideas. I think of strategies of supporting them, giving them the push so that they could thrive and survive. And that is going to be my number one priority of supporting our local businesses and livelihoods. All right. More importantly, it's also going to be many women and youth have lost jobs in this pandemic because there have been some industries that have got shut down. And it's important to develop skills. So I would really look forward to organizing some skill development programs for women and youth who have lost jobs in this pandemic, so they can actually cross skill and upgrade their skills in some different industry, and probably get back to work and return back to work. What's important for me is the safety of our families. So I live here with my two young girls and my husband, and I do understand how important it is to feel safe in your own house. At the same time, just walk out of the house and feel confident that this is my area, this is my place. Nothing can go wrong with me. But unfortunately, there has been some rise in the criminal activities, and I think there has to be some solution put to it. The parks are not well lit. I have got this a lot of feedback from a lot of community members that they find that the local parks, during winter especially, when it's early in the evenings, when it gets dark, the parks are not well lit, and because of which there are a lot of unnecessary activities gets attracted to that area. Then we probably need good robust, I would say, security system where we can put some cameras, vigilant cameras in spots and areas where people are frequent more often. Um and also the street lights, they are very important as well. So I just happened to recently make a note in my Facebook page as well, that there is this local businesses which are trying hard to survive, and the street lights out there are not working for past 6 months, even after they've been complaining about it and mentioning about it to the council for long. So these
Mm.
are the things that I think it's very important for me, making sure that the families and the businesses feel safe. The police station that we have here, we need to increase the police resources. So I'm going to advocate that with the state government. That's my advocacy policy. And besides doing this, what I also want to do is, in my policy, one of my very critical policies is work with the communities, and we have this mental health programs, and include everyone from the seniors to disabled to disadvantaged to youth, and run these mental health programs. Because like I said, I'm just thinking from COVID point of view, many families
Mm.
and many people have got impacted due to
Yes.
isolation. They've hit depression, the suicide rates have gone high, and it's important that we actually give that support system, and not just say there is help available, but be proactive in providing that help to our local residents. That's very important for me. So those are the kind of programs and initiatives that I will really be vocal about if I do get elected as a councillor. Then another thing that I'm really wanting to work is the environmental sustainability projects. That's another thing that I really want to reduce e-waste. Some people, if the laptop's not working, they would throw it. If the iPad's not working, they would throw it. Mobile's not working, throw it. We have to reduce e-waste. If we want to make sure that our children, our future generation, have a better place to live in. We have to get into the habit of recycling. We have to look at more tree plantations. We have to look at um, things which actually will benefit our future generation by looking after it. So environmental sustainability and sustainable policies is very, very important to me as well. So I'm just giving you a brief of what policies I am. I'm just outlining a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Well, Deepti, there is a term called community connector. Whenever we listen to this community connector, we just get your name. So, what do you want to talk about that?
Actually, it's a very funny story. I've been, like I said, I've been a volunteer with the local council, and when I was working with this neighborhood house, this people come, and I love connecting people with solutions. So and people with people and businesses with people, and things like that. So this actually came to me by another person. who calls me a community champion and a community connector. So this person seen me work really hard in and over the past so many years, and they have given that coined that word for me as community connector, and that's because uh, everyone thinks that if we go to Dipti, we don't know if we know the solution to, or a person who can provide us a solution to this problem, but she can. So I love doing that. I just enjoy connecting people with people, and making sure that everyone benefits and everyone finds a solution out of it. So, and that's isn't that the whole point of being inclusive?
Yeah, true, true. So, Deepti ji, as a woman point of view, I just wanted to ask you, like, there are many single moms and many who are like working very hard, having kids at home and all. So, what kind of a help do they get from you?
Well, actually, the most important thing any single mom would really need is someone who she can talk to. I'm
Yeah,
all ears, and I've got many mums from Mums Club who will vouch what I'm saying, because they can just pick up the call and they can talk to me. It can take 1 hour, it can take 2 hours, it can take 3 hours. I'll still be there listening to them, and guiding them the right way to, or maybe suggesting them, providing them solutions, motivating them. This is what comes to me just naturally. So this is what I do maximum for the moms who are around. I've also done fundraisers for family violence victims. I've also done fundraisers for single moms who have been struggling to meet their ends meet. But I think more than financial, and showing them how to probably promote their businesses so that they can earn a livelihood for themselves. But what's important for me is, I think, to be available emotionally for anybody who needs help. That's the most important thing, but people take that for granted a lot and think that it's not important at all. But that's the most important thing, to be available to talk to someone. So I have a lot of moms and women who call me anytime they feel like, and they know they can talk to me, they can trust me, and some, if they're down, if they need some suggestions, if they need any advice, I'm always there. So yeah, I think it's about being approachable and accessible.
that's great. That sounds great. And what is the difference between you and the other candidates in these elections? Why should people vote for you?
Wow, again, a $1 million question. Well, I wouldn't want to say for anybody else, but I would like to definitely say why should people vote for me? All right. So
Yeah.
I have already proven my mettle by doing what I've been doing for the community, irrespective of the designation or the power or the authority or the formal place. So I have still done, so during the pandemic also, I was supporting the local community. I was out and about helping people. I was reaching out to seniors. I was reaching out to disadvantaged families who are struggling, with meals. I was reaching out to students and youth who are needing grocery packs and things like that. I have been doing things for past so many years. So that's I think for being a good counselor, it's very important to have a good intent and right attitude and good passion and passion to work for the community, which I think do. I have a tick mark on all those boxes because I have done this. I have proven it, and it's all there, for people to see. It's Yeah, there are many people who will vouch whatever I'm saying. And also the second thing is, because I'm from finance background, I do understand how budgeting works, how things work. I'm good at relationship management and stakeholder management. I kind of bring those skill sets with me. I'm good at negotiation. I'm good at convincing people. So I've been in leadership positions in the past. So I think I'm a complete package. I just do not have a degree, a qualification, and corporate skills and soft skills as well. But I also have the passion and the intent and the integrity. So I think I'm a complete package, and I don't think so that there are candidates out there with everything that I've just mentioned in one person. So I am confident if I do get elected, I will be the person who will be responsible for a lot of changes to bring the changes for the betterment of a community, because I believe in working with people, collaborating with communities and organizations, and I believe in bringing everyone together cohesively and inclusively, and then bringing change and solutions. So that's me. I have analytical skills. I have so with my work, my professional experience and my community experience is what makes me a more deserving candidate.
That's great. So, like, how is your family support now for the elections? What about your
Uh,
daughters, your husband, your in-laws, and all? Like, how do they feel?
Oh well, my I'm sure my in-laws are elated and my parents are elated. They must be proud of me. They are. They see that we have been working very hard for this campaign because it's been different. It's been challenging. We can't go out and don't know people and stuff like that. My daughters have been my pillar of strength. They have been just wonderful. I've got two girls, like I mentioned earlier. The older one is 9 years old. The younger one is 6. And when we were doing letter drops and putting things in the envelopes, they really sat down and helped me with it. Even for the flyer drops and stuff, we would, when it was allowed, when the restrictions were off, where you can go and do flyer drops, they walked with me. So it's been a very, and they do have that, like even now when I'm doing the interview, you wouldn't hear much of children in the background, because they know that
Yeah.
mama's actually having a serious
Hmm.
conversation with someone. So they would not disturb me. They would give me that space. So they've been very supportive and very uh, they motivate me many a times. And my young one, she'll just tell me, Mama, I told everyone in my school, vote one for mom. And I was like, oh God, your friends would be so small, they're not eligible to vote, darling. But they've been an immense big support for me. My friends who live local, who I have over the years, through the Moms Club and through Mace, we've become so close. They have been my backbone too. So because obviously family is overseas, I don't have any family here, so it's hard. I don't have my in-laws or my parents here or my extended family. I have no family here at all. My family is my local community, and they are the ones who are actually supporting me. So there are times when there is no dinner at home, but I would get some food dropped outside my house. So I'm very grateful for the love and support that I've got from my people around my community. I've received calls, I've received messages, which makes me feel thankful. And last but not the least, my husband. He's been the pillar. He's been standing strong and giving me all the motivation and encouragement and uh, you know the might to go ahead and not stop at any challenge, because there are times when I feel like very fortunate for my support system. So my family, my children, everyone has been very supportive. My friends, I'm very thankful.
Seriously, fingers crossed. You are so lucky to have such a family. Uh, then, like, like if you are elected and if you get busy, do you miss your family, spending time and all?
See, I'll tell you what. That's a very good question, because this is what one of the things that people have been telling me, that it's a very time-consuming job and stuff like that. But for me, I've always been busy, and I've
Hmm.
always wanted to be the role model for my children, for my girls, to say that we can manage things. There are many times people ask me, how do you manage so many things at one time?
Hmm.
And for me, it's like it's all about multitasking. All of us are having those skills. It's just about putting them into practice. And for me, I do find some days are really busy, but then I do make up for those days, on other days. So I've been doing this for past many years. So even if I was, like, I do understand, if I become a counselor, it's going to be different. But I've been working full time. I've been running my own business. Then we open other businesses. Then I've been doing my community work. So it doesn't stop. My children have always seen me busy, and at the same time, they've always seen me manage things with them, family and stuff. So I don't think so that will be a challenge as such, because I've always been that. Uh, and yeah, ours is a very hands-on family, if I may say so.
That's so good. That's okay.
I just get the
So,
challenge.
like, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
So,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
All set. Yeah, yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Deepti ji, I wanted to know more about the Moms Club.
Now, Moms Club. Like I said, when I started, when I was this, one night on with my child, and I was just thinking, why am I feeling this? Because I've always been a outgoing person, very, very social, very active, and like I said, I've come from Mumbai, and Mumbai is a place of people. So
Yeah.
I've just been, having the, I've grown up with all that buzzing environment, and when I actually felt isolated, when my first my first child was born, and I kind of felt that I'm sure it's not just me. There are many moms who feel the same, and that's why like I said, I put the message on the social media that if anyone is interested in learning dance or catching up, feel free to let me know. We can do that in my backyard for free, and the response was fantastic. Unfortunately, because Fortunately, the response was fantastic because their moms were coming out. But unfortunately, many were feeling the same way. So when we started, we kind of started bouncing off ideas and doing things. Then I got involved with the local neighborhood and this fantastic volunteer coordinator, neighborhood coordinator, who's been an amazing person who's always supported me. And she gave me a space, for free. And I was really ecstatic about having a space for us, to be able to use, and not anymore a backyard. So we did a lot of events. We used to organize Mother's Day events. We used to take moms to around 60 to 70 moms down at kitchen workshop, or we would organize it in the Taylor's Hill Community Center, and we would organize food, drinks, activities, fun time, and pamper the mothers. And this year, because it was a pandemic, we did it online, and we pampered moms, by supporting local businesses and giving them gifts from local businesses that we purchased. And so a lot of ideas started coming out. A lot of involvement started uh, you know coming in this club. And I used to conduct fortnightly sessions at Taylor's Hill Community Center.
Oh,
And from that we became, wherein became solid group. The network started growing, the group started growing. And then we started organizing other events like Diwali, and fundraising for Beyond Blue. And then we also organized Bushfire donation drive. uh, Unfortunately, this year in the beginning we did have this calamity where we had to uh, support our local community members who were victim on who had been suffering due to bushfire. And we did the donation drives for them, through food bank. And again, the local community is very supportive. Everyone comes together, and now it's more like, like I said, it's more like a support group supporting the community. So the moms club is fantastic. We have some amazing enthusiastic moms who are always backing me up in all my community initiatives. This year we did Holi. Then we also organized a cricket, with Cricket Victoria. They reached out to me. So we were trying to increase the participation of moms and women in sports. So we organized, cricket sessions, and then I did tell them to organize child minding services. So they said we'll provide free coaching to the children so that moms can get more involved. And then we organized a bus to go to World Cup to watch the finale of women cricket at MCG.
nice.
So
That's a great
we've
thing.
been doing a lot of things. We've organized workshops also, for people to know what their employment rights are with West Justice. And there's a wonderful lady who works, locally, who is also a community person, and she also got involved. So it's amazing when everyone comes together with the same vision of helping each other out, and empowering each other. It's beautiful. So Moms Club is growing, and Moms Club is about all fiery, strong moms.
That's an amazing thing, Deepti ji, that you have a thought of giving moms a life.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. To tell you the truth, I have heard, mom say that we've never danced in our whole life. So thank you, because the whole idea was not to judge anyone. Then I've heard moms coming to me and saying thank you so much for giving us that break from our routine life, where we were getting so drained out. So have heard such beautiful feedback from moms, and that's what made me go even more, into it of supporting, because this is the satisfaction. This is the thing that I have achieved over the years, the love and the thankfulness. And this is why I keep talking about this all the time whenever I get a chance, so that I hope that I motivate others to do the same, so that this world
True.
becomes a better place to live in and support each other and promote each other. I always believe in collaboration and not competition. I'm sure there would be like 10 businesses, but if they collaborate and work with each other instead of mudslinging or pulling each other down, it's going to be fantastic. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Deepti ji. See, mom give life to the family, as I hope. And when we talk about like whenever the mom or a woman wants to do something, people say it is as a feminism. So like we are talking like a feminist, like you should not do this, you should not do that. So like, what kind of a thing you get like when you hear such kind of a things, such kind of a words from the people? Like you should not do this, you have to do this because you are a woman.
I don't listen to them. And this is what I tell everyone. Don't listen to these kind of people who tell you that you're not supposed to do this because you're a woman, and you're not supposed to do that because it's not your job. There is no job which is not for everyone. It's for everyone. There are ways. I know a wonderful woman who drives a bus, and
Wow.
she's fantastic. She's the one in her entire crew, but she inspires me. And so I think women should support women more. I strongly feel that, because I won't generalize and say men are bad. I've come across some wonderful men, and they've been supportive of their wives and their partners, and irrespective which background they're from. And I wouldn't generalize and say that all men are mean, but sometimes I think women have to really take up on themselves to support other women instead of pulling them down. So I think when you hear things like feminist and all, it's about offering an opportunity to be having a space for equality, and that's important. Everyone has a right, uh, and everyone has the right to be feeling equal and important. There should not be a space or a place where they say, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this, or you're not allowed to be here because you're a woman." That is discrimination, and nobody should accept that. And that's where you're supposed to stand and make it loud and clear that you will not accept it. And I think it takes a lot of courage. It's easier said than done, but I have done this on many occasions. I have put my foot down, and I have stood up not only for myself, I've stood up for people too. And I think when people or women or men, whoever listen to me, they understand where I'm coming from. That it's about giving a respectable place for all human beings. And this is what I've been trying to tell everyone. Even during my campaign, whenever whoever's asked me, I think religion, race, everything is important. Okay, culture, everything is important. I understand, but what's more important is respecting each other as human beings. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, a senior or a youth, or a child. It's about giving them respect and giving them the value of or the space that they deserve. No one can tell you or ridicule you, "Oh, you're a woman, you can't be here." That's not happening.
Yeah, great. So, Dipti ji, during this pandemic effect, even many moms lost their jobs. Everyone, like students, everything. So, how are you going to support them
So
in
I did mention in one of
your
my,
job?
sorry.
Yeah, in terms of jobs and all, financially.
Yes, so I did mention this in one of the policies that I was talking about earlier on, that women
Yes.
have lost jobs and the industries have got shut down. Like a lot of retail industries have got impacted due to pandemic in Victoria. So it's important for me to I strongly think that it's always important to provide skill development programs which will help them cross develop their skills and look for better opportunities. So that's very very important. Better child care facilities and services, that's another thing which can probably help them to go out and secure a job which can give them not only financial freedom but that emotional freedom too. You feel that you have achieved something when you want to do things, but you're restricted for unfortunate due to unfortunate circumstances. So I think it's important to feel liberated. You do what you feel is going to make you feel good, and increasing job opportunities definitely through skill development programs, through making sure that all the businesses locally hire a local talent. That's very important. That needs to be driven to people, that it's important that we give right wages and support. And as a counselor, it will be important for me to make sure that those businesses are looked after, who are looking after the local residents, especially women and youth. So that is what my plan and agenda is. And if I do get elected, God willing, I will definitely put this into action.
Great. So Deepti ji, like, what do you want to tell to the people now? Like how people have to vote you, the procedure
Now
and all through.
ballot papers have already started. I think everyone must have received the ballot papers by now. It's just about it's lying somewhere, and some of them have filled in the ballot papers and posted back. So those are all good people. So full marks to you. But many are just thinking that okay, I'll do it later, and where we don't have time now, we'll look at it later. But I think it's important that you take 10 minutes out of your busy schedule. We all are busy, but it's important. This is important not just because I am contesting, but because it's important to know who are you giving a position to be your representative for the next 4 years. The ward that I'm standing from, it's called Watts Ward, and the areas that include in Watts Ward are Taylor's Hill, Hillside, Diggers Rest, Toolen Vale, parts of Plumpton, Grangefield, and Bonnybrook. So I would really appeal and request to all the residents of these areas and these suburbs to put vote one next to my name. So there are boxes. Uh, Next to my name, just put one and then fill all the other boxes from 2 to 11. And once you fill that up, just send it back, post it back. There's a reply paid envelope. Just submit it and post it. And once you post, your vote will be valid. So it's important to fill all the boxes. And what's second important is to post it back. It's not just that you filled in, so it's been taken care of. And voting is compulsory. So you'll get a fine if you don't vote. You have to vote it before 23rd of October, 6 p.m. So if you're still thinking, oh, I'll do it during the week or weekday, it doesn't take too long. It just takes, like, I would say, not even 10 minutes. Get the ballot paper out. I've already told you who to vote one for. That's me. And you can just fill all the other boxes from 2 to 11 and just fill up your details and send it out. So it's that easy now. And if you haven't received your ballot papers, I've already shared on my Facebook page the details to call up the number, so you can check how you can get the ballot paper and make sure it's not lost in the mail.
Yeah. Deepti ji, if you are elected, each and every woman and each and every person will be happy, including our Melbourne Mama. What if you are not?
Thank you so
Is that your agendas and your structure of planning will be changed or it will be the same?
Now, okay, thank you for asking that. So, irrespective of the outcome, I have made some excellent connections with a lot of communities already because of my Zoom sessions and Zoom network, and I have understood what people and the community wants. So, I will not stop at this. I've never stopped. I've never waited for an opportunity or an official designation to do things for our local community. So I will continue doing what I've been doing in the past. That's the community work. And I think I will do more now that I know even a wider circle, that due to the election campaign, I would be more engaged with more wider audience and more wider community, local community members. So I'm not going to stop here, irrespective of the outcome. I will still be the voice. I will still advocate for a. It's just that if I do get elected, it's much easier because you have a formal authority and
Yeah.
place to be the representative. But if not, doesn't matter. I will still continue to do what I do, because like I said, this is not for me an election thing. I've put my hand up. Yes, if I do get elected, which I'm hoping I do, uh, it will be fantastic. But if I don't, I am confident I will still continue to do my community work. I'm not going anywhere.
That's fabulous. So, do you want to say anything through Melbourne Mama to your community?
Firstly, I would really like to thank you guys, Melbourne Mama. You guys are doing such a fantastic job, and I really appreciate this platform. As mentioned earlier, even due to COVID, it's very
Thank
hard
you
to
so
express our points and what we think, to bring it out and share it with people of our local community. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity. So thank you so much. Uh, the second thing I would like to say is thank you to all the listeners and everyone who's been watching me right now live. Thank you so much for watching me, and I hope that uh, if you are living in my ward, that you will vote for me. And I am available for any questions you may have or any concerns you may have. My Facebook page is Dipti Alurkar, and also I have a website, diptialurkar.com, and my email ID is alurkardipti@gmail.com. So if you have suggestions that can better the community, if there's something that you would like to recommend, if there's something that you would like to discuss, I'm always available to talk. So thank you so much for the opportunity. It was lovely to be here.
Thank you so much, Ditiji, and all the best. I wish all good luck to you, and I really want you to be elected.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you
That
so
means a lot.
much.
Take care. Bye.